So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the different ways in which medical people come up with the names for muscles. Now, when we're talking about how muscles are named, there are approximately 656 muscles in the human body. By all means, I don't expect you to know the names of all of the muscles in the human body. Instead, what we're going to do is talk about how the muscle names are derived. So you should have an idea of why we call muscles certain names. And the muscles that I identify in this lecture are the ones that you should know. So, how are muscles named? Well, a variety of different ways. One of the ways that muscles are named is by their origin and or their insertion. And by this, what we mean is where they come from or where they end. In this case, we're looking at a muscle in the arm called the biceps. Biceps brachii. You probably know it as the biceps. And what I want to point out to you is that this muscle goes across and attaches right here at the inside of your elbow joint. Now, we call that area the brachial area. And when you're taking blood or inserting an IV, the brachial artery runs right through here. So that's why it has its name brachii, because it goes over the brachial area. So the biceps brachii is named because its insertion point goes over the brachial area. So another way we name muscles is by their location. In this point, we're looking at the pectoralis major muscle, which is this large muscle over the chest area, attaches to the top of the humerus here and the clavicle, and down around the sternum and the ribs. So this muscle is named pectoralis because of its location. It's called the pectoralis major, and pecto refers to the chest. So pecto, chest, it's called pectoralis. Another way we name muscles is by the direction in which the fibers run. In this case, we're looking at the oblique muscles. Now, if you look at this, the oblique muscles run at an angle here, and that is an oblique angle. And that's why we call them the obliques. They are external, the outside of the body. They run at an oblique angle. So the full term is the external obliques. Another way we name muscles is by the number of divisions that we have. Now, we talked about one of these muscles earlier, and that was the biceps brachii. And we said the term brachii came from the fact that it goes over the brachial area, the elbow joint, which is called the brachial area. Now, we also call it biceps because if you look closely here, you can see it has two divisions. So it's like two muscles that come together to make one. The term bi means two. So biceps brachii, two muscles that come over the brachial area. The triceps are also named in this same way. The triceps have three portions. The other one's kind of hidden back there a little bit. So there are 3 sections to the triceps. So we call that the tricep muscle because it has 3 heads, 3 divisions, or 3 sections. Another way we name muscles are sometimes by their size or their shape. What you're looking at here is a picture of the muscle that comes over the shoulder. And this particular muscle is called the deltoid. And the deltoid muscle is shaped like a delta, which is a triangle. Therefore, it's called a deltoid. Now, when we say size, an example of size would be the gluteus maximus, your big butt muscle. The gluteus is that muscle in the back, and the large one is called maximus because it's the big muscle. You also have a gluteus medius, which is named because it's the one that's more medial or more towards the center of the body. So the deltoid and this term maximus come from size and from shape. Now, there are some miscellaneous ways that we name muscles, okay? And one of them that we name for a miscellaneous reason is the hamstrings. Now, the hamstrings are these muscles that are on the backs of your upper legs attached to the femur and to the tibia. But the reason they're called the hamstrings is quite interesting. If you've ever seen an actual butcher shop where they get the whole hogs in, the whole pigs in, what they do is after they skin them, they hang them to let them dry and let the blood drain out. Well, when they hang them, they take a hook and they actually hook it into the ham area of the muscle, which on a pig is this area on a pig's leg. So they take a ham and they string the pig, or they put a hook through it and a string on it, and they string the pig up by this hamstring. That's why it's called the hamstrings. It all has to do with butchering of pigs. Now here's a question for you. Why are the quadriceps called the quadriceps? Think about what we talked about in the last couple slides. Why do you think these are called the quadriceps? Well, they are called this because they have 4 divisions, and quad refers to 4. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions of this muscle. Hence we call it a quadricep. So, how are muscle names determined? Can you list a couple of different ways that we come up with the names of muscles? And can you name some muscles that are in the human body?